Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at noon starts now.
I-94 is finally clear of water after severe flooding closed it from Detroit to Dearborn. This is video of the roads during the flooding and then video from today with the water finally cleared. Next, we look at when the road could finally be reopened. But first, there are concerns because, as you can see on radar, a lot of green. Some scattered showers and thunderstorms are expected to move through the area. Brandon is watching those closely. And we begin with breaking news. McLaren-Macomb nurses vote to authorize a strike. The union, which represents registered nurses and service employees at McLaren-Macomb, says that they've been negotiating since February. Their contract is slated to expire on July 27th this year, just in a few weeks. The union says negotiations are bogged down due to, quote, the hospital's failure to resolve significant patient safety and nursing morale issues, end quote. Nurses have complained about what they say are dangerous levels of understaffing and poor working conditions that are impacting patients. We are waiting to hear the hospital side of the story. Our other top story, the potential for more showers and storms, prompting concerns as Metro Detroit is already coping with the impact of the widespread flooding, as you can see in the video of the hard-hit areas. So, for the latest, we turn to Brandon. The last thing that we need is more storms, but you are tracking a potential threat of severe weather.
Yeah, and that would include flash flooding, wind damage, and just those gushing downpours with dangerous lightning. Biggest concern, middle and upper 80s. So it is with the heat of the afternoon, these middle upper 80s feel like middle upper 90s in many spots. So we're getting into that dangerous heat category. Make sure you're taking it easy, lots of water. 91 feeling more like maybe triple digits, but through the late afternoon especially, we have this marginal risk for severe weather. Storms firing with the heat. Gushing downpours also could have 50, 60 mile an hour winds around some of the storm cells. Right now, all we're seeing is western lower, but watching those very closely on the Storm Tracker 4 radar for us. We'll continue to update everything as we go through the show here. But in the meantime, if you're heading out or if you are just a worrywart when it comes to weather like me, the Local Forecasters app is what you need. It's got the interactive radar, everything about any watches, warnings, flash flood alerts. We've got you covered. It is free. Local Forecasters app, just search WDIV in your app store. Jason.
Thank you, Brandon. Right now, I-94 is finally clear of water, as we said at the top, after severe flooding closed it, and this in the category or corridor of Detroit to Dearborn. Here is video of the cars that were once trapped in the flooding finally being towed away. Let's send it out now to Sean Lay with a look live when the road might be reopened.
Jason, I think I got you here along I-94. We're live right along I-94 where the water was at its highest right here. The smell, absolutely unbelievable. 94 still closed. The water finally gone, but here's the next step. What needs to happen right now? And there are a lot of steps to get this highway back open. First and foremost, cleaning the highway and cleaning those drains. You see two sweepers here. There might be half a dozen in just this stretch between Central and Lanyo right now. The lowest point of I-94 is right what you're looking at here. That's the highest point of the water. Then this truck behind it, it's scraping up all the debris that was left behind and washed down onto the highway and was already on the highway, clogging some of those drains. One looks like a snowplow just piling up absolutely horrible trash and muck. What happens next? Look, 94 really not close to being open right now because then inspectors need to walk this entire stretch and see if there's any damage left behind. Damage from all of that water breaking up concrete, damage from cars that were left behind hitting bridge abutments. So we're going to follow this situation all day long for you. MDOT may start opening certain lanes of 94. We will tell you as soon as they start doing that, but this process is really just beginning. It's going to be a while today before MDOT says they're ready to even open a lane. Back to you.
Thank you, Sean. Meanwhile, the state is offering emergency financial relief to low-income residents who need home repairs because of damage from the weekend's floods. The program enables residents to fix unsafe conditions or restore essential services. To qualify, you must own the home and meet other requirements, including income limits. The lifetime maximum amount available for non-energy related home repairs is $1,500 per household. We put a link to apply on clickondetroit.com, or you can call 211. Meantime, folks in Dearborn who need assistance should actually call this number, 313-586-3181. That's 313-586-3181. The city just notified us that this is a new number for basic information if you are impacted by the flooding. Again, 313-586-3181. That is in Dearborn. Gleaners is taking part in helping flood victims across Metro Detroit. This morning, the organization distributed food at the Ford Community and Performing Arts Center in Dearborn to households in need. Folks could pick up canned goods, grains, fruit, vegetables. The food site will take place every 2 weeks from 9 to noon. Volunteers say it's important they help communities affected by the floods.
After the recent flooding, people have lost their entire stock of inventory of food, so they need help. We need to help these people, and Gleaners is proud to be able to do that.
You can find more information on the food bank site at our website, clickondetroit.com. And just in, President Biden will travel to Florida Thursday as search and rescue teams in Surfside continue working around the clock, looking for signs of life in the rubble of that condo that collapsed there last Thursday. As the search continues, we are learning more about the conditions inside the building. And here is what an attorney for the Surfside class action lawsuit has to say. It's compelling.
Our client, Reza Rodriguez, has been raising these red flags for months. She's been taking pictures of her garage. She's been taking pictures of the cement falling, of water dripping on her car. And it seems like all of this just led on deaf ears. Nobody seemed to take any of this seriously. The inspectors said, your building is safe and strong. Do not worry.
All right. Meantime, despite the increasingly long odds, search crews, officials, and family members of the missing are holding on to hope. Morgan Chesky takes us to Surfside, Florida.
Yeah, good morning. We have now entered day 6 of the search and rescue mission here outside Champlain Towers South. And leaders of these operations making it very clear that they are settling in for the long haul. A 24/7 operation that's been underway now for 6 days. The workers, as soon as they come off that pile of rubble, able to clean up, sleep in nearby trailers, and then do it all over again, searching for any sign of life, any pocket of air that could hold someone deep inside that pile of rubble that crews are now tunneling into, hoping to find survivors. We do know that families of those missing getting updates every few hours, pressing authorities to speed up this search, but also knowing just how precarious this situation is. One official telling me if this pile moves just by a few millimeters, they're forced to stop and wait and make sure it's stable before going on. In the meantime, at least 3 lawsuits currently in play against Champlain Towers South, and here in just a few hours, engineers expected to tour Champlain Towers North to make sure its structural integrity is intact for the hundreds of people who live there. Morgan Chesky, NBC News, Surfside, Florida.
Thank you, Morgan. All workers at Henry Ford Health System will soon be required to be vaccinated against COVID-19. The requirement for all staff, students, volunteers, and contractors will take effect September 10th. Henry Ford is the first health system in the state to require the vaccination and the latest to join other health systems in the U.S. Since vaccinations began last December, Henry Ford's vaccination rate is 68%, or just over 23,000 team members. The Rocket Mortgage Classic is Thursday, but there were winners crowned for the John Shippen Invitational. The 2-day tournament brought some of the best pro and amateur black golfers to the Detroit Golf Club. It's named after John Shippen, who was the first black golfer to play in the U.S. Open way back in 1896. Timothy O'Neill qualified for the Rocket Mortgage Classic. Shasta Avery Hart, and Anita Uwadia qualified for the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational. Organizers say the goal is to build diversity, equity, and inclusion in the game of golf.
It's very important to have an event such as this, especially when you're looking at a city such as Detroit and looking just in terms of the industry overall. It is very important to have inclusion and equity, representation of black golf, and that definitely is what we're looking to do with this particular event.
Happening today and tomorrow, a virtual sports business summit that helps create awareness of opportunities within the sports industry for students of color. We've put information on how to register for that on clickondetroit.com.
New at noon.
Still to come, one man is dead after a stabbing near the MGM casino in downtown Detroit. What we are learning about that crime. Stay tuned.